So, hello everybody. It is July 7th, and we're happy to have everyone that's here. I am really grateful that you take the time to watch this video or come to my class on Zoom. It means a lot to me, and it's wonderful to have people to keep it going because if I didn't have you guys coming, probably wouldn't keep doing this. So, thank you. For today's question, I always do a conversation starter. So what we did was we shared each other answers. I'll give you some examples, but the question was, what is a quality or trait that you find attractive in a partner? First thing that came to my mind was humor, but genuine humor, right? You got to feel comfortable around someone to just really laugh. But everybody else also mentioned so many amazing things like unconditional love and grace and trust and genuineness, all these wonderful characteristics. So think about it if you're watching the recording later, what quality or trait that you find attractive in a partner. So I hope you can reflect on that. Lately, the last time I pulled out this favorite book of mine, I bought it in Austin, Texas, at the Woman's Bookstore off of Guadalupe Street. So if you ever go to Austin, Texas, there's an amazing woman's bookstore. And I saw it and I love cats, so I had to get it. So I'm just going to pick a random quote. Looks like there's an orange tabby. Let's see what it says. Always make a total effort, even when the odds are against you, by Arnold Palmer. I think the name isn't Palmer the drink, but oh yes, there's a heart. Yes, okay, good. Uh, and hey, let's look at the next one next to it. It says sometimes the best adventures are the ones you never planned on taking. Oh, yeah, I said golfer. Yes, he's a golfer. Thank you. Some people are in the chat. So yeah, Arnold Palmer. Good drink too. Tea and lemonade. Uh, so it says sometimes the best adventures are the ones you never planned on taking. So that was the next quote next to it. It says, at an aviation training school in New Guinea, French New Guinea, a pilot didn't notice that a cat had stowed away in the wings of his open cockpit glider until he and a human passenger were thousands of feet in the air, and thankfully all landed safely. The cat was seemingly unfazed and continues her frequent visits at the school. She's still the mascot. Oh my gosh. So in this picture, it's so itty bitty tiny, but it shows a cat in the glider. So this happened in French Guinea. Um, wow, that's crazy. I'm glad the cat did not jump. So, anyways, that's at page 63. If you end up buying this book, you can buy it on Amazon too. But it's good to support the local bookstores, right? All right, so let's do a fun song. So Janet, some of you know the song, and it's just kind of been going in my head. I'm going to put the lyrics in the chat. Um, it's a song that we sing with Brother Timothy Frasnick, who is here in the Twin Cities and does a lot of he does a lot of Saturday morning singing, song circles, professional musician. And it's not a song that he wrote, but we sing it a lot. And I went to a recent Shiva, which is a Jewish kind of memorial service, and they actually sang this song, and Brother Timothy led it, and it just kind of made me think of it more, and I thought it'd be a great song to sing. So before we start singing, the words are in the chat. I thought it would be good to do some vocal warm-ups. I know you need that. So grab some water if you have it handy. Let's do some gargling in our throat. So taking that sip, but this time I'll hold it because I couldn't talk. We'll do that again. Kind of just refreshes that back of the palate. I know, see, my voice, usually it sounds a tiny bit better even just doing that. So getting that, and then we'll do it one more time, and it's a ka sound, which is kind of fun to do with water. Be careful, you might get water other places. So, hey, welcome. We got another member coming on, so thank you. We just did the vocal gargling. Yeah, isn't it fun? And it helps with your throat. So let's do some vocal sounds. So like the sound of M. So ma. So you kind of like raising your voice and higher. Ma. Mo. Me. And I'm forgetting that May. May. So doing it again. Ma, mo, moo, May. And let's do one more time because I always do good to do 3 sets. Ma, mo, me, and May. I don't have it written out, so I might have been creative there. Um, so that is a nice vocal warm up. Another one is Bumblebee. If you remember that, it goes Bumblebee, 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 Bumblebee. Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. And one more time, threes. Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. That's a fun one to sing, isn't it? All right, so here is the song. Like I said, I haven't taught this one verse 4. Obviously, I think it's a famous song. He does do a lot of older songs. It feels like an older song to me that's been around. It goes, I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real light beam, I'm worthy. So kind of like the theme that we talked about earlier today. I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real light beam, I'm worthy. We'll do it one more time, and I gotta go up a little bit. I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real light beam, I'm worthy. And then the next part is, so that was 3 times that what first line of all the goodness and the love that the world's gonna give to me. So from the top, I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real light beam, I'm worthy of all the goodness and the love of the world's that's gonna give to me. Let's do it one more time. I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real light beam, I'm worthy of all the goodness of the love that the world's gonna give to me. And then the next line, if you're ready, it goes, I want to give it back 10 times. People, are you ready? So let's do that line again. I want to give it back 10 times. People, are you ready? I'm gonna give it back 10 times. People, are you ready? So let's do it from the top. I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real light beam, I'm worthy of all the goodness and the love that the world's gonna give to me. I'm gonna give it back 10 times, people. Are you ready? So the next part is, if you think that you are alone, hold on, I'm coming. So if you think you are alone, hold on, I'm coming. And one more time. This is a good song, I think, for people in this chat. If you think you are alone, hold on, I'm coming. So let's do it all the way from the top. I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real light beam, I'm worthy of all the goodness and the love that the world is gonna give to me. I want to give it back 10 times. People, are you ready? If you think that you're alone, hold on. I'm coming. Let's do that 2 more times. I'm a summertime dream. I'm a real light beam. I'm worthy of all the goodness and the love that the world's gonna give to me. I'm gonna give back time 10 times. People, are you ready? If you think that you're alone, hold on, I'm coming. We'll sing it one more time and really feel whatever comes to you. I'm a summertime dream, I'm a real life being, I'm worthy of all the goodness and the love that the world is gonna give to me. I want to give it back 10 times, people. Are you ready? If you think you're alone, hold on. I'm coming. And that is a song by The Returners by Allison Russell. So I'll put that in the chat and the recording if you haven't seen it. And if you came late, sorry, it might have not have been able to see it in the chat. But anyways, that song has been in my head since that Shiva that I went to last Wednesday, which was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful, loving ceremony. And I thought that was a fun song about like, if you think you're alone, hold on. I'm coming. And maybe that I'm coming can be anything. Maybe that's your spirit. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a cat. Maybe it's something that you find comfort in. All right. So I'm gonna pull a card from the Better Than Yesterday. That's that kind of card game, which I don't know how to play, but I like to use it as an idea. So interesting that somebody just talked about this. They set a screen time limit. I just heard somebody say that. I don't want to name names on the recording, but it says time's up. Set a screen time limit on your phone and stick to it for 24 hours. It says technology is great, but every now and then we all need a break from being connected. So maybe that is something that you feel like you need. For me, I don't, right today, I haven't felt that as much, but it is probably nice to set a limit, especially if you have light glare or sensitivities or fatigue. So set that maybe something in the last week or the next week, set that goal. If you find that you're on the screen time too much, get out. It is a beautiful time, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, to be outside and to connect with nature. So I highly encourage you to do that, connect more with nature. I do like to pull from this book, but I also thought about pulling from this book. Some of you guys may or may not know about this book. It's from John Kabat-Zinn, who started a wonderful MBSR, mind body stress reduction program, out of the University of Massachusetts. And this is a book that they highly recommend that you read. I've done the class twice, but I never actually read the whole book. But I know some of you love to read books, and we do reference a lot in the book on here. And I thought that this would be kind of fun to play with. I just pulled up this chapter um, that talked about mind and body, evidence that belief, attitudes, thoughts, and emotions can harm or heal. So just thought that would be kind of fun. Just even that title I thought was good enough. The role of perceptions and thought patterns in our health. Um, I know a lot of times I'd like to think why a certain person likes to do something, and I might take it personally as an insult or personalize their behaviors. I know I do that all the time. Like, what did I do wrong? Um, but maybe it has nothing to do with you. It's, them. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're not feeling good. Um, so it's easy to internalize things and misunderstand things. So that's where it's like, how the power of thoughts have on our bodies can heal us or harm us, right? I know I'm very guilty of that. And I like to remind ourselves of our present moment. And that will be kind of our theme for the meditation is, coming back to the center. So that's what the MBSR likes to do, get us back into this present moment. So we get lost out of those stories and remind ourselves that thoughts can help heal us or harm us. And which one would you rather have? One that revs up your immune system and your nervous system, or one that would relax you and calm you. And I find that very powerful. But I did like the quote for today. This book is written by the date. So today, July 7th, It was a quote by, it's about patience actually, and it is from Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu, is a ancient Chinese philosopher. Um, Goes, this is the thing, patience. I have just three things to teach: simplicity, patience, and compassion. These are your greatest treasures. Patient with those both enemies and friends. You accord with the way things are. So let me read that again. I have just three things to teach: simplicity, and interesting. I know Sammy just led a meditation about having things be easy, right? Patience and compassion. And we did talk about compassion earlier. I love how themes come together. These are the greatest treasures. Patient with both friends and enemies. You accord with the way things are. You accord, you're in alignment with the way that things are. So, simplicity, patience, compassion are the greatest treasures from Lao Tzu. So, I think I'm gonna do the meditation first and then do the movement. So, that is a great words to think about. So, if you are comfortable in your chair or if you're laying down, get comfortable in your body in whatever position that you're in. And I invite you to be in accord with the way the things are. So if you're walking, that's good. You can do a walking meditation too. So just being at ease with whatever is happening, if your body's moving, resting, sitting upright, feeling still, and just getting present into the body, this moment. And just noticing, reflecting on the treasures of what they consider the three greatest treasures. And some of that reflects in the question that we had about let's get deep, which is what traits do you find in a partner that you value? And a lot of people talked about, compassion, or patience, self-love, unconditional love. Um, and for me, humor is simplicity, right? Sometimes humor can be simple and simplicity, and it makes you feel really grounded in this moment. So as we get more settled in our body, thinking of those things, let's get into our breath. So breathing in nice and slow, through our nose preferably, but whatever is comfortable for you. And letting maybe the sides of our backs even fill up. So you really have to breathe slow, in my experience, to feel that. If you want to feel your lower rib cage expand in your back, play with that. It took me a long time to notice that sensation. Sometimes leaning a little bit forward helps with that. So breathing and then exhaling if you haven't done that already. Let's do that again. Nice inhale. Letting that lower diaphragm expand so you feel that lower rib cage expand. And then slowly exhale. Let's do that several times. And having our breath feel like it's compassion, but yet simple at the same time and patient. And then slowly exhale. Let's do a nice deep breath. Inhale. And a slow exhale. What would a simple, compassionate, and patient breath feel like in your body? So let's do that again and just notice with those words: simplicity, patient, and compassion. Breathing in through your nose. Notice how it feels in the body. Maybe it's hard to think of three words at once, so just pick one, maybe two. And then slowly exhale. What does a compassionate exhale feel like in your breath? And how does a patient breath feel like? Let's do that again. Patience. And then being patient with how long you want to hold your breath. I'm going to allow you to decide when you want to exhale. Maybe you want to hold it, maybe you want to exhale it right now. And be patient with your exhale as well. However you want to do it, with your mouth or your nose. Let's do another deep breath and think about its simplicity in your deep breath. How would that feel? How would that enact in your breath as you're breathing? And then deciding when it feels simple enough, simplicity enough to exhale. Letting go of complexity, things that don't feel right, and then slowly exhale. Feeling the simpleness of the breath. The air goes in and the air goes out. But that simple breath isn't really that simple, is it? Right? It provides all that nourishment of oxygen to the cells and to the bloodstream that pumps through all the muscle tissue and our heart, our brain. The simplicity breath that we need is so important. So let's cherish, have that compassion for breath, the gratitude that we pull in as we breathe. So breathing in how it feels best for us. And then slowly exhale. Let's do that a few more times with those thoughts of those words, or maybe no with thoughts of words, maybe just being present. I'm not going to tell you when to inhale or exhale, just let it flow naturally for you. As long as the breath is slow and relaxed, so it's calming for your nervous system. And think about ways how you can make life simpler, more compassion, and with patience. Maybe it's the mind, maybe it's the body, maybe it's the people around us, both our enemies and our friends. Enemies can be hard, but those are important, right? In our friends, that's easier. So, how can we be compassionate, simplicity, and patience? The three treasures. A way to ease, to heal the body and not harm the body. I guess, they both are start with H. So, which one do you choose? It's just like the news and the media outlets. It's important to be educated and aware, but you don't want to hurt your nervous system with too much information or with information that can be harmful to you. So, same with our thoughts. If you know your thoughts are, going faster, thinking worst case scenario, then let's bring it back further into our body and our breath. Thinking about ways to how to heal and harm instead of harm ourselves with positivity or just this present moment. It can be very hard to be positive at times, especially if you're grieving or going through a hard time. So just getting to this present moment, becoming aware of our feet touching the ground or our sits bones on the chair, our back on the bottom, back of the area. How are we resting our tongue and our mouth? Is it connected to the top of our roof of the mouth? Is it folded up? Is the tongue relaxed, soften? Are your fingers relaxed and soften? Or are you fiddling with something? Just being aware. Are you tapping your feet on the ground? Are they flat on the ground? Or just the balls of the feet touching? Noticing the fabric that's touching you. Maybe you have tight jeans or shorts on, socks, sandals, shoes, capris. Maybe you have a silk scarf on. Maybe you have dangling earrings, a necklace. Just noticing the sensations or no earrings. Is your eyes, eyelids soft? Is your eyebrows feel soft? Just softening into this body, into this present moment. As we think about ways we can heal ourselves with reassuring of this present moment, with each other's positive energy, being a witness for each other, supporting each other, loving each other, even when we're different, and giving us space to make mistakes, to be fully human, not quick to judge and forget somebody, but to be there, really love that person. And maybe you can think of a time when you were quick to judge in yourself, and maybe you do it all the time. Maybe you don't do it very much, but maybe think of a time when you were quick to judge on yourself. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you like to eat right before bedtime. I'm guilty of that. Realizing that you're fully human and that you'll try better next time. And maybe somebody else, there's somebody else in your life that made a mistake or quick to judge. Having compassion for that friend and their situation, what they're doing right now. And the hardest thing is your enemy. If you can think of your enemy, a time when they were quick to judge, right? They weren't compassionate, maybe for you or to them or for others, but having that compassion for them, that love, knowing that they're fully human too, that they make mistakes just as much as everybody else. And can we come to that point of compassion? Let yourself be with there. You don't have to force anything, but I find it helpful. I know I've been hurt tremendously by a friend that I cared about, and I have to realize that they're fully human, and that friend became like it feels like an enemy. She's one of those frenemies, if you've heard of that word. Um, but they're fully human too, and they make mistakes just as much as I do. When I eat right before bedtime, which I shouldn't do, right? It's not good for your digestive system to do that, but we're fully human. And if we can understand that with our enemies, people who treated you really badly, it can give you compassion for yourself in the future. If we can have compassion for our enemies, our friends. And if you're not ready for that, that's okay. Do what word feels good for you and allow for this present moment to just be a time of healing. And we'll take a few breaths, settling in and slowly bringing this meditation to a conclusion as we just notice and settle into our body. As we try to find ways to heal the body, to have compassion, breathing at a comfortable pace that's soothing for our bodies, that feels simple, patient, and compassionate. And as we do that maybe one more time, however it feels good for you. Let's slowly rub our hands, creating warmth as we slowly move out of the meditation and into some movement. I'm feeling a lot of warmth in my hands. Let's have it gently go up the bridge of the nose, around the forehead, around the cheeks. Doing that several times, making a heart shape. And 2 more times. And one more. And let's gently comb through our hair. I know it's going to mess my hair up. That's okay. So combing through your hair. And then gently rubbing our ears at the top, gently going down, pulling on the earlobe. Again, rubbing at the top of the ear, massaging all the way down, pulling at the earlobe, and doing this a few more times. So this is a very soothing routine to do. It's from Spring Forest Qigong from Chunyi Lin, and he does it at the end of the program. So I'm kind of doing it out of sequence. And one more time, just gently pulling on the earlobe, just feel a little gentle opening. And then let's do, this is not part of his program, but this helps if you have any congestion, sinuses, right? We get a lot of allergies this time of year. This is help drain any of the, drainage in our nose, kind of lead to the ear. So this is a nice area to massage, but if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And let's do that one more time. All right, good. So it's some different, let's do a V shape. So a V shape with your fingers. Gently go in between the ears, going up and down. That it shouldn't hurt if it does go lighter. And they say that can be very soothing for the jaw. But if you have pain, don't do it, hard. All right, let's do some more gentle, loving motions with our hands. Want to do it on your belly, so you can still do it in the chair. I'm just going to stand up so it's easier to see. And we want to go clock direction. So I'm going to do the opposite. So you would go to your left, right, down and around. And you would massage. So I'm mirroring you. So you want to go down and around. But some doctors, Qigong practices, they do it both directions. So let's do both directions. So we're going to go down and then we go to the other side. So this helps with our digestive system. It's soothing, relaxing. And let's do it again. And then hands come down. Let's do a nice massaging of the C7, which is, connects the neck to the torso. All right, some have to go. Thanks for coming. And then gently massage. And then let's gently brush down our arms. Usually people cup in Spring Forest Qigong, but I'm just going to gently brush down. So brushing down, flip the hands, going down. And the other side, palm up and down. And let's also do that with our kidneys, rubbing the hands, feeling nice and warm, rubbing the back. So if you're in the chair, getting just leaning a little bit forward if you're in the chair and rubbing. And then let's gently rub our knees, rubbing the hands. And I can't see my knees right now. I flip my camera. Now you can. Rubbing the knees in a circular motion. If you're in a chair, it looks like that. So this is some stuff from Spring Forest. Some is a little bit different. But when you have your hands on your knees, try to put the fourth finger down and gently massage that area. It's supposed to give you more endurance, so your hands are flat. And it's just the fourth finger, you know, the on the outside, just kind of gently massage. And then it's also massage underneath the knees in a circular motion. And then let's do the side. Two hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Other side. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let's also get the knees. I'm going to do the hands. So there's a lot of massaging points you can do in your hands. I feel like massaging the point where the finger and the thumb bones meet. Gently massage in that area. Just very soft. Just notice how you feel. Um, if it hurts, go lighter and do it in both circular directions. This is good for releasing, but if you're pregnant, they say don't do that. So if anybody has any pregnancy, don't do that. Don't press on this area because it's a releasing point. Um, so just gently massage. And they say if it's a little tender, maybe massage it more often. It shouldn't feel tender, but it also could be that you put too much pressure. So just go with that feeling, and then the Laogang point, that middle finger, number 3, and then wherever that lands. They say this can be helpful when you're more emotional. I try to do this if I'm going to a funeral. I'm feeling really emotional at the funeral. Um, they can, it says it can calm you down your system, help regulate emotions. So if you struggle with that more, you could do it more frequently and see if it helps. It's free. Can't hurt to try it. Unless it hurts, then don't do it. All right, so those are some good massaging points in our hands. I'm going to do, I know some people like the parent technique. We got 5 more minutes. I want to do a movement. Usually I do standing. Um, and I think we should do some, um, or sitting. I'm going to do it sitting, some movements. So why don't we just do some simple open and close? I find this very helpful when I'm first teaching people. So when I'm first teaching people Tai Chi Qigong, I try to teach them hand out, right? Not too close, right? Because after a while you might arch your back. So nice, just open and close. It's so simple. And sometimes when you're full of emotions, or say you're full of stress, sometimes just breathing and exhaling. So try to do it like a singing bowl. So a singing bowl, you kind of catch the wave. So it's like my hands move because I breathe. My back is upright. So if you're hunched, you won't feel the breath. But if you're straight back and you're breathing, you're going to feel that opening of the chest. So having that hip, shoulders, ears in alignment with a pillow or without a pillow, but have the movement calm for your breath. And that lower Dantian breathing, which for that is Chinese, referral of the lower center of energy. That is very helpful for your lymphatic system. So deep belly breathing, filling up the belly with air and letting it expand. Expanding out and then getting smaller. It's hard to go slow with this movement. A lot of people who are doing this for the first time will go really fast. They'll have the hands lead, but I don't want your hands to lead. I want your hands to be patient. Let it reflect your breath. So it's not you forcing it. You're just following along with the ride. It's kind of like with riding a horse, right? You can't tell the horse what to do. I mean, you could, but ideally you want to work in unison with the horse, right? You want to submit. And it's same with our bodies, right? We need to be aware and connect with our bodies. Maybe treat your body like it's a horse, like you're trying to listen to it. It's so easy to get disconnected between our mind thoughts, stress, to-dos, or shoulda, woulda, coulda, yesterdays, regrets. But listening to the body, letting the body lead, and let your thoughts follow. So that's our hands. If you want to use a metaphor, our breath leads, and feeling that connection. And let's do that a few more times. It might feel tiring for you to do deep belly breathing is very tiring. And let yourself feel that simplicity, the patience, and the compassion as you try to breathe with your body. It's not easy, so have compassion with it, have simplicity with it. And one more time. Hands reach out to signify the ending, hands come down. That's like a typical movement that we do. And I just want you to stand in your chair. So this is a nice upright, um, sit upright in your chair. And so just on the edge, hip shoulders by your side, hands by your side, and let your fingers just relax like you're dripping wax or honey from your fingers. I want you to feel that release, the softening, just letting the wrists soften even more. Letting fluid come to the tips of your fingers, like fluid honey just dripping down. And if you can notice the feet connected to the earth. And you may do this standing, just have your pelvis tucked in, hip and your knees softly bent, keeping that soft alignment in the joints. Nothing is rigid, nothing is stiff. Everything is soft, but upright. So having that compassion, that patience, and the simplicity of just being upright in the chair or standing. I feel like maybe we can do one more movement. And we've done this before, but you know, I think we've done this before, but it's been a while. It's lifting opposites. So lifting the thigh and the hand, and then handing coming down. And it's kind of like a prance, like a deer prance. So just lifting opposites and feeling like a jolt slightly or jolt, but it shouldn't be hard. It's just a slight prance, like you've run into the wall, like, oh, I didn't realize there's something there, right? So just lifting, doing opposites, and slowly coming down. It's easier, it's hard to do this in a chair because you got to have that core engagement, but if you can, that's great. Um, and if you want to do it standing, just lift and the opposites, feeling a little bit of a prance. But this is a nice slow movement. And slowly coming down. All right. Let's do that maybe two more times each side. I'm just looking at the time. I want to allow time to see if some people want to do that lymphatic massage or if they rather do a feedback session. If you have a preference, maybe give me a thumbs up or an emoji. But that is a conclusion for the movement. And it looks like the people on the call don't have a preference. So why don't we do the lymphatic massage? So fingers gentle at the rooftop. It feels like an ant on your skin. I know I've gotten a lot of feedback. You guys like this, so let's do it. Gently breathing in through the nose 6 times. We've done a lot of breath work today, and we'll do it again. Again, it's that deep breathing, pumping the lymph system. Doing that again. This is a great way to calm down your nervous system when we're caught in stress, work stress or emotional stress or just physical stress. Maybe your just body's exhausted. Let's do that again and two more times. And then release, gently go down your face, going to your clavicle. And they say if you can do this 3 times a day, that's awesome. If you get it done once a day, that's great as well. And let's do that one more time. Now we go to the side over the ears. Just gentle, doesn't have to be hard. And then one more time, behind the head, around, behind the head, and around the clavicle. Nice and soft, smooth and simple. You can also brush your hair at the same time if you want. All right, behind the ear, same side, clavicle. And the other side, behind the ear. And then we're going to go to the chest area. We're going to go down and around. If you're a woman, it goes under the chest, leading to the clavicle. And one more time. You don't have to lift your arm, but I find it helpful. Now we're going to go down and around over the chest, straight across. So if you're a woman, you would go under your bra line and then up. And then we're going to do the sternum, the same side that we just did, all the way to the clavicle of the same side. And this is the Perrin technique, Perrin. And then the other side. There are so many wonderful practitioners in the Twin Cities area that does this technique. And there is also a book that I heard that's kind of complicated. I haven't read yet, talking about this. Now we're going to go up and over, same side, over the chest. But I find this technique to be very helpful, especially when my body crashes, like chemical exposures, allergens. Um, it's very helpful just to kind of help my system move. So same side, kind of like start at the sternum down here and then going all the way up. All right, so we got a scarf. Maybe some of you don't. Hand towel, anything works. Doing it later if you need to, but we're gonna go between the trapezoids, between the shoulder blades and the spine. 1, 2, upward motion 5 times, which I always find this one to be a weird one, but this is the technique. So going behind, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last one is going down behind the ears, usually the back of the hand, going to the clavicle. All right. Why don't we call that good? Because I don't want to keep it too late, but I want to, in the recording, some awesome things are happening. If you don't know, check out my website, touchingworlds.com. And also the nonprofit that I started called See Others Foundation. Less than 2 weeks today, we're going to have a retreat. If it's easy to do, I'm going to definitely record it so you can watch it later. The event. I don't know if I'll do it live on Zoom, but I definitely will have a recording for you to watch later. But that's coming up July 20th, July 31st, a performance outside a city in St. Louis Park. And then we're going to also have a special birthday party for myself in August. So a lot of fun things and 2 performers. One of the performers has, if you guys know them, if not, they're a really sweet, wonderful couple, and Dave Dvorak. So I'm excited. So thank you for coming and supporting me. I want to end the recording, so if people can feel free to share maybe what struck them in this.